The daily Qtec chart shows the 13s hanging over its head here, combo and sequential, and the combo cluster and sequential cluster 7 and 4 have shifted over rather than increasing in numbers. So price has a long way to go to the upside to print the combo and sequential sell countdown cluster 13s. So one could consider the Qtec ripe for a pullback, and again, I do not believe it will be that much. Maybe down to the conversion line here, 163.22, which is quite the drop. And price did close above the upper Bollinger Band, which is set at the strictest level possible, so that's quite the feat to close above there, let alone poke its nose above it, which it did the other day on the 11th. And this is the second day above the channel 3 high for closes, so it can go up to 5 or 6 before it really needs to get back under it, and more than likely will. Or the channel 3 high shoots up above price. Either one could happen to get price back under that channel 3 high. And the upper Stark band is pretty close to the high from yesterday, 168.60, so it's really stretched to the max just about, but could keep pushing the envelope up, and the Bollinger Band and channel 3 high could catch up, but they're quite far behind right now. And in this Qtec daily chart, the megaphone cell 7 end count continues to travel onwards and upwards here, and price is well above the relative retracement up 3 and in no danger of becoming qualified, so could be and should be good support to the downside. And the relative retracement up 4 is not that far away to the upside, 169.21 should be resistance, although this was not even remotely close to resistance, just sliced through that. But the stretched condition that the Qtec is in could prove to be resistance here along with everything else. And the fast QQE went back above 70, it's at 70.78, and the slow QQE is not that far away to the downside, so a cross under is still a threat, especially at these elevated levels. And the directional movement plus and minus continue to move in their respective directions, and the ADX is really up there, 41.81, and all that means to me is that there's plenty of room to the downside before it gets to 20, as long as it stays above 20, and then the direction continues to the upside, and this will eventually follow. Get under 20, then we have to reevaluate. And the trend factors have moved up, so there's down one trend factor, 163.50, and closes below that, I believe, print the long-term overbought P alert up. And the S&P 500 daily chart shows the Bollinger Band ticking downwards and the lower Bollinger Band ticking upwards, so there's a possible squeeze developing. And price did close above it, just like the Qtec, in 2 days in a row, where Qtec just had 1 day on the 11th with a poke above it, but it definitely closed here 2 days above it. The channel 3 high is still above price, and so is the upper Stark band, and the megaphone cell 7 end count is marching onwards and upwards like Qtec. Conversion line is still in the same spot as Qtec, so should be pretty good support there. And this ongoing demand line will be at 4558.09 for today, and a close below that will qualify it. And we still have the qualified demand projection down here for a buying opportunity, and that's right by the Bollinger Band mid-band. Lower Stark band isn't that far away, and same thing with the channel 3 low and the cloud baseline. And the 50 simple moving average in gold is still edging up very slightly each day, trying to get back above the 100-day simple moving average, and that is yet to happen and needs to happen to continue this uptrend. And in the cloud chart for the S&P 500 daily, you can see it's really sailing above the cloud, so it's light years away from heading back down to there. And to the downside is the new disqualified momentum down for 50% and 100% at that level. And that's right by the ARC 382 here. And then under there is the trend factor down 1. So plenty of support here with these two, not so much the momentum down. And then the baseline is right under all that. And then another arc level, 0.50. The 50% disqualified exhaustion down, 43.93 about. Same thing with this trend factor down 2. And arc level, 0.618. And worst case scenario to the downside, there's the disqualified cell TDST pretty much right above the cloud for major support there. And then under there, the arc down 4.764 level, bottom of the cloud, and the magnet level, 41.83 approximately, is bringing up the rear. And right under there is the disqualified propulsion exhaustion down for 100%, and the disqualified trend factor down 4